What a month. I grew up in Lewiston, Maine, just around the corner from the shooting earlier this week, and my parents live there currently. In the midst of the tragedy, I found myself so heartened by the response. So many of our friends and family reached out to inquire of our well-being and offer their hearts and prayers. And it seemed as though everyone rushed to Lewiston's aid, from first responders to national media. Recently, I've been asking myself, what do I know? It began as an exercise at work to help me get clear on what I was picking up in the moment. I asked myself what I knew about the client, what in my education and clinical expertise was relevant, and what felt true to act on. Soon, I found it helpful to apply in other spheres. I gradually became aware that what I knew was sometimes at odds with what I was being told, and even the narrative that was running in my own head. What I know tends to be a generative, quiet truth, or a helpful question. There's so much that I don't know, and so much that is unknowable, fraught, even irrelevant. The simple practice of grounding in what I do know, what I observe and sense, what I feel and experience, and what I conclude, refreshes the moment and reminds me to be who and how I am with who and what is. It is exquisitely attentive and deeply interior, and allows me to take stock and get granular and intentional with my actions. I marvel that it has taken me so long to indulge in such a simple question, and feels almost wrong and reckless to inquire of and rely on my own knowing. It is a practice that moves at its own pace, according to its own instinct and wisdom. To know is grounded in the subjective and experiential. Yet our cultural use preferences rational and agreed upon knowing, often dismissing other ways of knowing. What you know matters. The subtle, wise ways you understand and navigate our world matters to our collective thriving. I hope that you're not afraid to learn, share, and act on what you know. Pain is not a punishment. Pleasure is not a reward. Inspiration and wretchedness are inseparable. We always want to get rid of the misery rather than to see how it works together with joy. The point isn't to cultivate one thing as opposed to another, but to relate properly to where we are. Pema Chodron.